the fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop. We have told the world that under our leadership, we're going to turn our back.
The depreciating cedi.
Cedi. This is the first time cedi. Who accorded what you are wearing, didn't we import? We imported this, we imported that. Cedi depreciation is a ritual problem. I agree with you. It's not because of one particular government. Unless one is suffering from unconscious incompetence or displaying intellectual dishonesty, that will say that cedi depreciation is MPP government. It's an issue that has nationalistic, or that needs nationalistic attention. That one I agree. But it's not, so far we keep on being in importer-driven economy. We'll be having problems with the cedi because we import almost everything. But inshallah, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, next year if he comes, we're going to design a long-term framework to deal with the cedi. Trust me.
Because the cedi has lost its role as a store of value. Right? And when that happened, of course, everybody moved out. And as a country, we import everything. That is not so wrong, so long as you export enough to match it. Nothing wrong with importing. There's actually nothing. In fact, importation is good in the sense that when you import, you actually benefit your population with lower priced items. When people complain about a China mall or anything like that, my response is the decision to buy is not a patriotic decision. It's a decision made from my pocket. Buying made in Ghana is all nice and a nice highfalutin issue, but when I'm faced with reality, I buy from the lowest cost to my pocket. All that has happened is that what we thought we should get and what we are getting, the market has done a correction. The market says, you're not worth it anymore. Now who caused them? Leadership. Known about this for years. Warned about this for years. Leadership sat down, and here it's not even about the current leadership. It goes way back. After our exciting times when we went through HIPIC, one would have thought we would have learned a lesson. Then we found oil. Then life was good, wasn't it? All of us were enjoying nice, big 4x4s, holidays abroad. Children go to school abroad. If I'm sick, I go abroad. If I don't like the way my big stomach looks, I go abroad and I get a stomach fix. And we could go on and on and on. We'd stopped living within our means. All the world has told us is that now, what we thought we would get is not what we're getting. Right. It's a failure of leadership. This could have been corrected 6 years ago, gradually. Mm-hmm. This could have been corrected, but no, that explosive mix of partisan politics, populist politics, and corruption is what has ended up here today.
Overdependence of foreign services
by Ghanaians. We go to, we do our education outside. Most of the rich guys do their health care overseas. And one person's health care, especially those bigger people, about $300,000 for maybe his health care. It's about 10 containers, what I do. So it's not that it's excessive importation and then we neglect all the other areas. The churches that we are talking, and let's not even forget, these days, even the women, some of them do it for the luxury of it, the cosmetics of this. And then they can send about 30,000, go and fix their here and here. All of these are putting pressure.
Here and here, which ones are you talking
about? Here and here. And they put pressure on this dollar. So, speculation has not been helping us. The speculation is not out of the noise that we create, unfortunately.
There's a competitive.
But what, something triggers it. When we are not able to stabilize the currency and it starts going up, then it triggers the noise that normally comes. So it's like chicken and egg situation. Which one comes first? We have to be able to stabilize the currency at all times. And the churches, they control the bulk of the money. Church is one day. First it used to be once a week. Now it's daily. And then the money that goes to this area, no matter.
Church is once a week on Sundays.
No, it's every evening. And then the money that goes there, we have to be able to monitor the movement. We are not saying that they should for them or take this thing by movement, because most of them send this money. When the exchange rate was in trouble, their collections were all turned into buying the forest, because they do that as a form of security for their capital. And so we have a lot. The demand aspect is too huge, and the foreign dominance of these resources is overbearing.
Oh, one city. I don't know any money. I say caneno. Now $1 1 city. And now you 1 city. We say $1 12. That number one. Mam 12.
Nani France the ben modeling in dollars.
Ebisame. Kwana ko bisa kenu furata. Oh, me ba cho one airport. Boy. Me ba cho na de tum.
1 city.
1 city. I don't know any money. I say caneno. Now $1 1 city. And now you 1 city. We say $1 12. That number one. Mam 12.
Nani France the ben modeling in dollars.
Ebisame. Kwana ko bisa kenu furata. Oh, me ba cho one airport.
The Ghana cedi has obtained the dubious distinction of being the weakest performing currency in Africa at this point in time. Interestingly, the NDC Green Book claims exchange rate stability as one of their unprecedented achievements. In an open economy with market determination of prices, exchange rate movements are the most important indicator of underlying macroeconomic fundamentals. As the saying goes, when in doubt, observe the exchange rate. The lesson from history for governments is that you cannot manage the economy with propaganda.
I will not put anything in place, but I will pray for the city. Please, shall we pray? Oh, God, good evening. Father, this evening I bring the city in front of you. How many heads do we have on the dollar? Only one. And how many heads do we have on the city? 6 heads. How can one head compete against 6 heads? Father, this evening we take 1 head from the city and we match it against the 1 head on the dollar. The remaining 5 rise up, oh. The remaining 5 rise up, oh. The remaining 5 rise up, oh. Oh! Yes, Antoine. Yes, Antoine. Yes, Antoine. Why are you hiding in the city? We put you there for a reason. Yeah, it is time. Yes, Antoine, rise up, oh. Yes, Antoine, rise up, oh. Yeah. Come for machine gun and kapugbe. Yeah, go and fight, oh. Yeah, go and fight, oh. Yeah, yeah. If you don't arrest the city for us, we will take you off and we'll place you with Betty Mildred-Drisu.
Abusia video way. Yeah, at the Ghana Highway Authorities. Ebiana muwe. By the Yahoo and the Yabon the road at Chemo. And for Promo, I said, Yahoo, as Yahoo, almost safe pro way, Papa. A lot of drains that I know, that the end of that. Some of them are Saturday and October. Iron rods now. I want concrete. I'm not strong. And now, Nicolia Sada and the concrete in there from say. I don't want to try iron rods now. Don't say that dry iron rods in the concrete in there for ma. No much when you're quiet to take iron rods there. At Simota, Master Highway. Middle lane now. Almost a no-go area for pedestrians. And on my regu from Sana, I don't ross a woman, you know, my yini na deco. The Ghana Highway Authorities, yeah, they are who any upon the road. I will see a video way. Yeah, at the Ghana Highway Authorities. Ebiana Moon, by the who any upon the road at Chemo. And for Promo, I said, young woman, as young woman, almost safe pro way, Papa. A lot of drains that I know, that the end of that. Some of them are Saturday and October. Iron rods now. I want concrete. I'm not strong. And now, Nicolia Sada and the concrete in there from say. I don't want to try iron rods now. Don't say that dry iron rods in there, concrete in there for ma. No much when you're quiet to take iron rods there. At Simota, Master Highway. Middle lane now. Almost a no-go area for pedestrians. And on my regu from Sana, I don't ross a woman, you know, my yini na deco. The Ghana Highway Authorities, yeah, they are who any upon the road.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are 2 types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us, and good morning, Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 16th, 16th of May 2025. And we, as usual, would say big thanks to the Almighty God for giving us another rare privilege of coming back here to join the nation's conversations on the big stories that are making the rounds. I'll kickstart, as usual, by bringing you the headlines on the various newspapers that we've received today. And so the Daily Graphic is reporting that Ghanaian theatre goes global. Ghana must go response to big push initiative. There's also Akemoda Primary School ransacked, roofing sheets, fittings, burglar proofs stolen. National Security Rescue Mission details in kidnapped women's case. The Ghanaian Times. Mass decongestion, get off payments, footbridges. AMA gives traders Tuesday deadline. NPP bans internal campaigns until nominations open. Will improve road networks, President Mahama. Daily Guide, power crisis looms. Dungwa families file for injunction against Zoom Lion subsidiary. SML Innovation attracting global interest. Professor Boateng. NDC fears me, Wontumi. Magzi wins a 2-4 Gold Award. There's, so those are the stories on today's Daily Guide. The Herald says that state security chases Kofi Juma over Gayhawk's financial rot. Unauthorized property sale for $700,000, bought $100,000 official car for 4,943 others. MPP MPs abandon Agrada over Sami Jemfi's dollar gift as they drag case to charge CID OSP. Hope fades for Agaveji residents as coastal erosion ravages community. National Service Authority interdicts 2 managers over payroll fraud. Brigadier General Michael Opoku removed from Central Command. The Daily Post. Payroll fraud. 2 National Service managers interdicted in Brim North. Gold Board has no dealings or contracts with SML. Sami Jemfi. No power crisis looming. Energy Minister assures. CD gains. Lower prices show economy is stabilizing. President Mahama. Daily Statesman. BOG exposes Isaac Adongo over dollar account misinformation. Citizen seeks SC clarity on CJ removal. Ochinhene supports Amajay Foundation. Call for entries opens for 2025 Samira Bawumia Literature Prize. Literature Prize, yes. Sorry about that. The Guardian publisher, man challenges CJ's removal process. BOG cuts Adongo to size, rubbishes reckless no dollar at the counterclaim. Does Ghana truly need a national career? Josba Mukhtari writes. Samira Literature. Hey, why do I keep saying literature? Literature prize opens 2025 entries. The Informer. Doomsor looms as minister doing magic. GRA discounts SML claims. Swag at 50. Planning and nomination committees formed. The Catholic Standard. Mediation efforts in Boko yielding results. Bishops call for peace, self-reliance. Defend family values. Don't yield to pressure. Africa's leaders urged. Pope Leo the 14th coat of arms. Pope Leo the 14th calls for disarmed communications during his first meeting with the media. And there's an editorial. You can always count on the Catholic Standard for editorials. It says Pope Leo the 14th, pontiff for the times in building bridges. The New Crusading Guide. The New Crusading Guide. Lights out. Imminent. Energy Minister says Ghanaians will wake up to a country Ghanaians wake up to a country without power as ministry struggles for 1.1 billion cedis. 6 convicted in payroll corruption scandal. And coming up, storm in Ashanti over missing fertilizers. Minister brother stand accused. Samira Bawumia Literature Prize announces call for entries for 2025 edition. Playwright Lateef Abubakar out with Ghana Must Go. Tourism Minister declares play portrays Ghana as premier destination for tourism and investment. And there's more tension at Shire Hills over land disputes. Over-the-counter dollar withdrawal still allowed. BOG. Metro Lens. Ghana Gold Board disowns SML. No deal, no partnership. Constitutional conundrum. Ghanaian citizen demands constitutional clarity on Chief Justice removal process. The Church of Pentecost again hands over first ever fire station built by a private institution in Ghana. Rashid Pelpuo appointed co-chair of high-level ILO conference in Geneva. The Daily Searchlight. Removal of CJ, Tokono Poamang sued in Supreme Court. Scrap dealers destroy Ghana's roads and infrastructure. Ghana Hotel Association sues Gamro another over royalties. Ghana records $3.83 billion in 2024. And I've looked at scrap dealers destroy Ghana's roads and infrastructure. And also the the Metro, okay, I've looked at Metro Lens. So Business and Financial Times, theater asked to drive investment agenda. Jifa Gumashi, there's $155 million financing for coffee, cocoa, and cotton sourcing as FDIs collaborate with long-term financing facility with Ecom Industrial Corp. $18.9 billion global revenue assurance industry underutilized. Professor Boateng Otunfo said to the second honors Hollard Group CEO. So that's it for the front page stories of today's newspapers that we've received. You're still watching Good Morning Ghana. I'll let you in on my guest shortly. Please stay with us.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo ko. Give us JC lecture and the capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be boa wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na nim tisese ne wo yi chokwa. GC mixture and then a capsule. Achisa.
A painful battle, one more menu for one and Quada when you feel to me. Achisa.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits, happy smile.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action.
well.
Sasso, come tom preko.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits. Happy smile.
Where to get Polytank?
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
Oh, I want to left, right.
And you that's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Who knows? Abe, na here. Me pe Polytank ato. And you think I'm in your bed to be able to never you. Oh, food to be here. And enjoy your cra.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emuha.
Like they take two buys. Came to me and go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. Polytank. You hear the sound?
Polytank. Papa Nankasa Nkasa.
You're still live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television, and this show can also be monitored and followed on 94.1 FM on your radio dial. So in case you want to leave the comfort of your home and you want to still monitor the conversation that takes place here, please tune to 94.1 FM. It's very, very clear so that you still can enjoy what happens here, even though you don't have a TV set before you. So a big thanks once again to Blue Jeans Energy Drink. Big thanks to Blue Jeans Energy Drink for making it possible to bring you Good Morning Ghana every single day. It has been on the Ghanaian market for more than 20 years. We know what it does for the body. It contains many vitamins and nutrients, vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and your energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested, it's been tried, we know it. We can testify that it is indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women, and it is in shops nationwide. So for bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry, limited on 020-812-8190 or 055-001-000. 055-001-000. That's Blue Jeans Energy Drink. And also Polytank. I need to tell you about the best Polytank in town. And the best polytank in town is Polytank Papanono. I'll tell you a bit more about that shortly when I okay, so this is Ghana, and you can only get deceived if you're not sure of what you're buying or you don't really know the market. So when it comes to water storage tanks, the name we all know is Polytank. It has been with us for over 30 years and has been trusted by all these generations. Make no mistake, always choose Polytank for guaranteed quality. It's available at the same price across the country at Polytank partner shops. So be it Rambo, Hippo, Sumo, or Super Sumo, durability is always assured. Polytank, the original, always the best. Papano and Kasa and Kasa. So joining me this morning for, as usual, what promises to be a fantastic and riveting conversation on the Good Morning Ghana show is the man Hamza Suhini. Hamza Suhini is a lawyer and also a member of the NDC's communications team. Hamza, good morning and salaam alaikum.
Salaam alaikum. Good morning, my brother. And of course, good morning to our cherished viewers out there.
Juma Mubarak.
Mubarak.
Yeah. And also joining me is another good friend of mine, Haruna Mohammed. Haruna Mohammed is the deputy General Secretary of the NPP. He seldom comes here. We don't know why. Today we would ask him. He seldom comes here. Aruna, salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I hope you're doing well.
Oh, I'm doing very well.
Why do you come here once in a while? You're too busy for us.
It depends upon the programs.
Okay.
But I usually speak on phone.
Right.
Either on Zoom.
Right.
With the Metro TV.
Right.
Not very far from our headquarters. So
yeah,
it's a good place to be.
Absolutely.
And more special to say good morning on a good morning program.
You know, Annie enjoys your the way you articulate your views. Yeah, she said I should tell you.
Really?
Yeah. She said she likes the way you articulate your views.
Thank you, Annie.
Yes.
Just that I've not seen her this morning. I don't know where she's hiding.
She's around. You know, she's doing things behind the scenes.
Oh, okay.
To make sure that she serves her viewers the best of breakfast.
Yeah, she's one dedicated person, very hardworking.
Very hardworking.
Sometimes you come and see her and like as if she have slept here.
Yeah, no, sometimes, and I don't know whether I have permission to say this, but sometimes if she has to sleep here to make sure that the show comes on, she will do that.
Yes, I see that. Yeah. So I'll come here and I'll realize that no, she slept here.
Yeah. Very passionate about her job, eh? Very passionate about her job. Anyway, so I'm looking at some of the newspapers and we're being told, for instance, in today's Ghanaian Times, Haruna, that your party has banned internal campaigns until nominations are opened. And the story is on page 10 of today's Ghanaian Times. And so we want to try and understand what is driving or informing this policy or this directive. Now, Bernard Bengam is reporting the New Patriotic Party has banned all prospective candidates from engaging in campaign activities before the official announcement of the upcoming internal election process. The party emphasized that members should refrain from campaigning or soliciting support from internal positions, as these directives form part of the strategies to foster unity among members. This directive was outlined in a statement issued by the General Secretary of the party, Mr. Justin Kodia Frimpong, who emphasized that it aligns with the party's commitment to fairness in managing its internal electoral processes. The party leadership wishes to notify all members and prospective candidates at various levels that until official nominations are opened, no individual is allowed to engage with party executives or structures in any form of campaigning or soliciting support for internal positions, the statement read. It further notes that early engagement could undermine the authority of the party's organs and jeopardize the strategic efforts underway to position the party for success in the 2028 general elections. A statement urged all members, supporters, and stakeholders to adhere to this directive and avoid activities that could compromise the party's unity or the integrity of its processes. Let us remain focused and supportive of the internal reforms and initiatives led by our leadership to build a more formidable and cohesive party. The statement reaffirmed the party's commitment to transparency, inclusiveness, fairness, and due process, and promised to provide timely updates on all relevant timelines and guidelines once nominations are officially opened. I would imagine that this statement has been issued because things are beginning to degenerate. Is that a false assumption, or my assumption is grounded on the evidence before you, based on which the statement had to be issued?
Thank you, Moro.
Okay.
I'll begin by saying good morning to your cherished viewers, both on TV and those who are following online. And good morning to my brother, lawyer Hamza, and Annie, wherever you are.
Right.
My good morning is with you. Yes, this statement actually came from the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, lawyer Justin Kodia Frimpong. It's not different from statements that have been issued in the past, which falls in line with the decision of the National Council. On the 27th of July 2021, a statement was issued under the hand of John Boidu as the General Secretary, where the National Council took a decision to bring to force the Code of Conduct for the conduct of elections in that particular election year. This Code of Conduct is grounded in Article 18 of the party's constitution, where we can, or we have been mandated as a council, which is the second highest decision-making body of the party, to enact additional laws to support the constitution relevant to matters that have arisen based on decisions that are taken by council. That particular Code of Conduct was in force, and in August 2022, when we came as a new administration, National Council again took a decision that this particular Code of Conduct should be applied when we were going into the presidential and parliamentary primaries. Again, in our last National Council discussion, this Code of Conduct again was reinforced that the General Secretary should ensure that compliance with this particular Code of Conduct is one of the greatest importance that will gear towards the cohesion and unity of the party. So the General Secretary issued a statement at that particular point in time where we mentioned about the Committee for the Constitutional Amendment. He indicated in that particular release on a matter that was very present at that particular point in time, which was media engagement by prospective aspirants, people who go on the media to discuss the party, and also party members or senior members of the party who goes to discuss matters of the party that hinges on unity and the rebuilding process of the party, to stop making reference to the Code of Conduct. Again, just a few days ago, he issued a statement on this particular instance because we can see that many people are abandoning the course of the rebuilding process and ensuring that there is that cohesion and unity within the party to go ahead of time of a release that guides the process of election, to engage party executives. And when we say party executives, we mean the polling station executives, the electoral area levels, the constituency, the region, the external branches, and the national level. So the General Secretary, as the Chief Executive Officer of the party, issued the statement in tandem with the decision of the National Council, just to ensure that we put everything in its proper place. And when the time is ripe, the party will open nominations and give the necessary guidelines to the elections so that all of us will follow. This is the intent and purpose of the release of the General Secretary.
But how binding is this Code of Conduct, which every party member is supposed to respect or honor or abide by? How binding is it?
This is not the first time, as I have run you through, 2001, 2022, this Code of Conduct has been issued. Everybody or every member of the party knows that Congress is the highest decision-making body. Apart from Congress is the National Council. So once the National Council has mandated such a Code of Conduct to be enforced, they know what the punishment it is regarding this particular Code of Conduct. So it is binding because the new Patriotic Party members who have accepted to be members of the party knows the position of the Constitution and also knows what the Code of Conduct is contained and the punishment therein. So we have seen a couple of times that people have actually abided by such decisions, and this is not going to be an exception.
Mm. There are calls for your party to, as part of the constitutional reforms that you intend to undertake, there are calls for the party to elect the flag bearer much earlier than what your constitution says at the moment, in order to forestall the kinds of confusion that happens typically after internal elections as to who would lead your party and so on. Now, if this constitution review, which has been undertaken, which is led by, what's the name of the head of your constitutional, this lawyer, the head of yours? Sorry?
Frank Davis.
Yes, Frank Davis, yes. Now, if the committee comes out with, how do you call it, its findings that says that it agrees with those who say that the flag bearer must be elected at least by the end of this year, okay, will that change the dynamics in terms of this directive that you're giving to party people to hold on, for the party to focus on uniting its front before people even begin to campaign or to proceed with their campaign as to could proceed with their campaigns when it comes to your internal elections? I don't know that there could be any effect or impact on that.
Moro, there is no clear roadmap in the Constitution that has given credence to the fact that the election of this nature, this should come first or this should come second.
Right.
The Constitution mandates the National Council to vary the date.
Okay.
So in that particular instance, the date and days of conducting elections, it is mandated in the hands of the National Council. So whatever be the case or the amendment process within the Constitution, I cannot preempt what will come out because all proposals will be put by way of motion before Congress for adoption. But as we stand now, it is the National Council that determines the date and venue of elections within the NPP.
Okay, until further
notice. The National Council can decide that we should start with this or start with that. Okay. It is the decision of the National Council.
Okay.
And that is why the National Council, in many instances, at some point in time, will defer elections of certain constituencies and extend their time. A case was the Savulugu constituency, where their elections were withheld, and then there was an extended time for those sitting executives at that particular time until a period that the National Council decided that an election should be conducted for the good people of Savulugu to have fresh new executives in that particular constituency.
Hamza.
Yes, sir.
I listened to your General Secretary, Fifi Kwete, who is also concerned that some persons are beginning to peak ahead of time instead of focusing on supporting the president to succeed so that it won't matter who is elected as the next leader of the NDC, the person would have a better shot at the presidency. Are there any genuine concerns that from where you sit you also have, or you think that it's not as serious as perhaps the General Secretary may have put it?
Good morning to you and of course my brother from the other side of the political divide. Moro,
yeah.
I do not think that what the General Secretary sought to convey was the fact that people have started running ahead of time.
Right.
Clearly not. As leaders, you must be seen to be proactive in your respective roles. And I think that that is exactly what he did. He is simply trying to be proactive to caution against a situation where people who are interested in the presidency will begin to run ahead of time.
Right.
And I think that you simply cannot fault the General Secretary for throwing out that caution. It does not mean that people have started doing so, because I am on the ground, I move and I travel around, and to be very honest with you, I have not seen any such thing on the ground as far as those who are interested in the presidency of our republic is concerned, or being flag bearers of our party. So I think that it is a general caution thrown out, and it is proper. Okay. He is not the first person to have thrown out that caution. The national chairman, I think some few weeks ago, also had cause to caution that there's a need for us to at least calm down, largely because of the polls that was done by Musa Dankwa.
Yeah.
So it is not coming from the National Democratic Congress. I think people are simply formulating ideas as to who is likely to be flag bearer after John Dramani Mahama. That cannot be the cross of the National Democratic Congress. We are focused on our mandate that was given to us in the last election, and His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and his appointees are committed to delivering as far as these promises are concerned. And we have indicated times with that number that we will not be stampeded in any way when it comes to our resolve to ensure that we leave a legacy that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama would be proud of and the National Democratic Congress would be proud of as a political party. So that is our focus. But Moro, with your permission, I was listening to my brother make statements to the situation in which they find themselves as a political party. And the rationale behind the caution that people should stop campaigning. Clearly, you don't need an angel to tell you that the likes of Kennedy Agyapong and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia have started their campaigns already in the New Patriotic Party. It is clear. But you see, I think that what is affecting the NPP today, I have reduced it down to about 3 fundamental things: lack of confidence, incompetence, and lack of leadership. Moro, many of our NPP brothers and sisters out there have no confidence whatsoever in the current crop of leadership of the New Patriotic Party. And I'm pretty much convinced that my brother would agree with me. Because for many of them, their last defeat was occasioned by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and ably supported by the attitudes of national executive officers of the New Patriotic Party. And I think that on this very platform, I have had cause to say that if the NPP is actually in need of revolution or of change, there's the need for them to look at their national party head office and inject some level of sanity into their operations so that at least Ghanaians can begin to take them serious again. You simply do not start your opposition on another foot of incompetence when that was your Achilles heel in government. And why do I say so? Moro, you have just gone into an election. You have lost the election. You have a flag bearer. Allow the flag bearer the needed time and support to embark on his thank you tour so that all of you could have seized that opportunity to begin your rebuilding efforts. But what did they do? They decided to prune down the influence of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia by saying that for the first time, oh, the flag bearer is not the one going to lead the thank you tour, and all people who are interested or whoever contested for flag bearership should come and be part of the trade. What didn't we see as a result of that poor decision? Because many of them were simply interested in cutting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to size. So that is the level of, that is the lack of confidence I'm talking about. Because even the party people don't have the confidence. And when it comes to their decisions, problematic. There's the need for them to look at that. Again, when the leadership lacks confidence and you have a flag bearer who is able to manifest leadership, is able to complement for the shortfalls of the National Executive Committee. We've all seen it. We had challenges after Gerald Rawlings. President Mills was effective in stepping in to provide leadership for the National Democratic Congress at that critical moment. Same with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, even after we lost the 2016 general election. Moro, mostly when you lose an election, your party hierarchy would be in disarray. You need a strong leader, someone with proven leadership abilities. President John Dramani Mahama stepped in, even though he had lost an election, and provided that leadership to the National Democratic Congress when it mattered the most. And it was based on that leadership that he provided that the party rode on and made significant changes at the top in terms of our party structure that eventually culminated in our victory in the last election. Today, unfortunately for the New Patriotic Party, we all know that when it comes to strong leadership, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is lacking. So even though the party is suffering, there seems to be lack of confidence in their operations. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not able to make up for that shortfall.
But he's not the leader of the party.
You see, that is the mistake you are making.
The national chairman of the party is the leader of the party.
Moro. We all have de facto
So what do you
leaders.
expect him to do?
Moro, we have de facto leaders. President Mahama per our constitution after the election was not the leader of our party. President Mills after the election was not the leader of our party. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo after his defeat in the 2008 general election was not the leader of the party, but he took charge, he led. Because you see, we know it's part of your governance ethics.
Yes.
You know that after every election, the party becomes truly vulnerable. So you all must find a pillar to rally around. And at that point, because the party hierarchy itself has lost confidence, the only person with some semblance of integrity and love is your flag bearer. You rally around him. But if your flag bearer is a weak person, lacks leadership abilities, then you are in trouble, and that is the state the NPP finds itself.
You don't think that look, if Bawumia decides to take charge of the NDC as you're advocating, the party will roast him.
Oh, so again,
the party will roast him.
That is
because the party has a leader.
Did the party roast Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? Did the party roast John Dramani Mahama? Did the party roast President Mills? Tell me more. They led. You see, when you are elected as a flag bearer, you see, don't downplay the significance of this thing. You know.
Look, when the party decided to support his thank you tour,
no,
there were people who.
It's not even that we are supporting. I would respond to all the matters.
You know, there's a question I want to ask Hamza. There were people who said the thank you tour was actually a platform for him to even market himself, to sort of steal the show ahead of time. You remember that?
Those comments always come.
Okay.
But was it Dr. Bawumia who was on the ballot paper? Or Ken Ofori-Atta? Or Kennedy Agyapong? Who was on the ballot paper?
So you still stand by your position?
So in actual sense, who's supposed to be doing thank you tour? Who did Ghanaians choose to vote for or vote against? Was it Kennedy Agyapong?
So you stand by your position that he should take charge and lead the party?
You see, I'm not saying take charge. I'm saying provide leadership.
Okay.
Provide leadership. And you see, you cannot expect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to provide that leadership because he doesn't have it. Today, if you take Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, what names are you going to mention around him? With some semblance of weight when it comes to the politics of the NPP. Is it the likes of my brother, Dr. Alolo? Or my own brother, Agbar?
But as
These are the faces.
You are allowing him to attack the integrity of individuals.
No. You
cannot question the competence of Alolo.
No, I'm not talking about competence.
He's asking if they are the people. No, he's questioning their competence around the man.
I'll give you a chance.
Anyway, you give me the chance to respond.
I'll give you the chance.
I think you're talking about what?
I'm talking
weight, political weight. That's the point.
Exactly. First of all,
I talked about the fact that there's
let me quickly respond to this.
There's Fred Owari, there's Nana Komia.
Aruna, I think that first of all, I am not attacking the integrity of anybody.
Yes.
And if you understand the meaning of the word integrity, you would agree with me that indeed what I sought to do was not to attack their integrity, far from it. Secondly, I am not questioning their competence. I am evaluating their political weight. Even me, Hamza Sohini seated here, cannot begin to exaggerate the kind of influence I have when it comes to the politics of the National Democratic Congress. I know my limits. And I'm simply telling you that a flag bearer must demonstrate some level of political control or influence. He doesn't have it because he lacks that leadership. And we all saw it, even in his role as vice president. And these are the questions we need to be asking ourselves. And you especially, as a political party, whether indeed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia actually has what it takes to lead the new patriotic party. Because we have seen the leadership history of that political party. And where I'm seated, I am convinced without doubt that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lacks what it takes to provide leadership for the new patriotic party, let alone the risk of giving him the mandate of leading this country in the future. And these are things you should be concerned about as a political party.
Thank you very much. I wish we did not get here, because you are talking about a matter that you absolutely does not have enough information on. The decision to go for a national thank you tour was a decision of National Council. And that decision was that the flag bearer in that election was the face of the thank you tour. So it is not about a conjecture that why should people debate as to whether he should lead or he was on the ballot paper. The decision was made emphatically by the National Council and communicated to the general public. In fact, the flag bearer made a request when the decision was made that we should invite persons who contested him in the primaries, because none of them contested him in the 2024 elections. For party unity and cohesion, for us to move in unison, the National Party took it upon itself and invited the other contestants to join. So it was not a conjecture, it was a decision of the National Party to go on the thank you tour with the face which was on the ballot, which is Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm happy when he was making those particular statements with regards to leadership. In this country, it is only in the NDC that they have a founder. One founder. There is that history of how that founder has been treated within the NDC. At a point in time, he was called a barking dog. The founder lost confidence even in the leadership of the party at that point in time and had to use the Konongo Kaya and the Atamo Chiriman. The founder pointed out that the factors that was the foundation of the NDC, probity and accountability, was lacking, and that the current president was not a leader enough to lead the party. He said that they are corrupt to the extent that he doesn't believe they can still uphold the ideals of the NDC. We remember that President Jerry John Rawlings formed the NDC with his own blood. In the MPP, that is not it. We don't have one founder. But this is the way you treated your founder. He's talking about leadership, Muru. What is leadership? What is leadership? You are comparing Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to President John Dramani Mahama. You know President Mahama wrote his book, My First Coup d'etat. He said in that book that as a leader or as a young man riding bicycle down the lane, he could not take a decision on his own. He could not. And it manifested when he was given the mandate to be the president for his first term. He had to appoint 3 wise men to guide him in taking decisions. Today, as president in the second term, as president, he promised us that he is going to appoint 60 ministers. Today, he has 56 ministers. Because of his indecisiveness, he could not complete the list at the stipulated time. Yes, I agree. He has a mandate of 4 years, but he gave us a period in which he should complete that. It is over 14 days. It is over 120 days. this indecisive man, who he is touting his leadership credentials, is not able to provide that. He's not able to accomplish that. Let me tell you, who Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is. When it comes to leadership and the guidance in Ghanaian politics, Hamza would understand that Dr. Bawumia has no match when it comes to politicking and leadership in Ghanaian politics. Days when we were doing politics in Ghana, it was about going, singing, and he knows it. When you went to Sunyani the last time and we came back to Tamale, the songs you were singing was just O Sunyani, O Borade. When you went for horse whips in Koforidua, where Obed Asamoah and Co were whipped, Big Zidane and Co were whipped, you could really hear the debate of political platforms, of campaign of issues. It took Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the charge and change the narrative in political activism in Ghana. You check his record at Bank of Ghana, you check his record as running mate to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo. You check his leadership in government as vice president. He changed the face of vice presidents in Ghana. The person you are touting today was a vice president. He was not fit enough to be made even a member of economic management team, not to talk of even chairing it. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was made to chair an economic management team. Count his contributions to governance. If a leadership role cannot be assigned to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, check his leadership role when he assumed leadership as Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Look at his contribution. Look at the digital phase. Look at the drone system. Look at the Ghana card. Look at the property address system. Look at the ambulance system that has been done. Look at his impact. A president who could not, under the face of Yabongura and Co, pointing to him that they needed a region, he could not, in his bid to assist, could not, and his bid to insist, because he was vice president and he was assisting, not insisting. As president, he was insisting, he could not. A vice president in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led the charge, spoke to his boss. A constitutional matter was put up. A referendum was done. Today, John Mahama can boast of coming from a region on its own, under the strong leadership of Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia. You see, your ideals of attacking this gentleman would not survive. Your first role was that he was going to be used and dumped. That was what your party and government then had said. That you live to see that the day that MPP will make him a flag bearer, and we as Northerners would not be respected in the MPP. That was your comment. Lo and behold, on the 4th of November, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won with over 61% of the delegates' votes to become the flag bearer of the party. You went ahead again to attack him with all manner of commentaries. Today, you are saying that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lacks leadership. I am happy you corrected him that in our party, a former flag bearer and a flag bearer or a sitting president is not the leader of the party. And when you are discussing matters you have absolutely no full knowledge of, you have to be careful as to how you address those matters. The MPP will always be the MPP. There is no any contention in the MPP with regards to leadership. Okay. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading the face of the Thank You tour. Today, they are in Brussels. They are attending to International Democrat Union meeting where the MPP is hugely represented and the vice chairman for that particular union is coming from Ghana. And one of the ideals and patrons of that particular union is also coming from Ghana. When that is done, we will continue the thank you tour, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will continue to be the face of the thank you tour. He was the one on the ballot. On the issue of the matter that I was saying, he was like, if you are describing people around him and saying they cannot have control or they cannot exert leadership or even advice, and you are mentioning these young men, you should have been proud of seeing these northern guys around His Excellency the Vice President. I am the least to attack my colleague young people from the north, aspiring and going higher and taking leadership role. We should stop these particular condemnations. I can't call it envy, but I must say that it is not appropriate in its right sense to make such commentary. You don't know the leadership roles that they are taking up. Perhaps they are not the face of the man, but they work for the man, and we must respect their roles within that particular spectrum.
Did you say in your submission that because President Mills did not trust the capacity and the ability of President John Mahama when he was vice president to even make him the chair of the management, the National Management Economic Team? Did you say that in your?
I said he was not the economic management team member, not to talk of the chair.
Okay. It's not true.
Why is it not true?
Yeah, I have a letter here.
Which letter?
Okay. So the letter is dated 23rd November 2010. And it's Office of the President, the Castle, Osu, Accra. There's even a telephone number. Back in the day.
Don't worry, just read it.
Yes. Okay, so it says that, dear sir, appointment as member of the Economic Management Team, EMT. And it says, pursuant to Article 77.2 and as part of steps to enhance the work of Cabinet, it has pleased His Excellency the President to appoint you as the member of the Economic Management Team with effect from 1st June 2010. 2. The Economic Management Team will be chaired by His Excellency the Vice President, and he gives us a list of the persons who are there. And he said it's anticipated that the EMT will meet at least once a month. It is the hope of His Excellency the President that given your rich experience, you contribute your quota for the effective discharge of the EMT's responsibilities. Please accept the congratulations of His Excellency the President. Yours sincerely, J.K. Bebako Mensa, Secretary to the President.
This letter was challenged because I am not here with this particular discussions. You know, these discussions have come up several times.
Yes.
And this letter has been quoted, which has been challenged.
By who?
On several platforms, members of the NDC.
They said they don't know this
you
letter.
say that he's been made the chairman of the Economic Management Team.
That's what the letter says.
Is it an Economic Management Team?
Yes, EMT, yes.
No.
It says the Economic Management Team, EMT. I can show it to you.
No, I'm telling you that. look at the nature of the letter. This letter has been challenged on several occasions.
That it is
and then Professor Mills did not become president in 2010.
He became president in 2009. Yes.
And EMTs that has not been formed after a year of the.
So is the argument the timing of the letter or the fact that he was never the chair
when
of
he
the
came in 2009,
team?
which were the members of the Economic Management Team? Get that one and let the public also know.
Yeah, but I'm saying that.
No, when he came in 2009,
yes,
who were the members of the Economic Management Team?
It's a fair question, but
yes.
I'm just saying that when you say flatly that the president was never, at the time, John Mahama was never
I'm saying
made,
that there was no that confidence because you come in with somebody that you have campaigned with. You come in as a 2009, the person cannot.
So the issue now is the timing.
Team.
The timing of when he was made the chairman of the Economic Management
There
Team.
is clear evidence that when they came into government, he was not made the chairman of the Economic Management Team.
Or
I don't trust it. I don't,
it's fake.
Unless I verify the source of the letter.
I
cannot trust the letter
we're good friends,
because this letter has been challenged on several platforms. You have read it. If he has been made a member or a chairman of the Economic Management Team at a particular point in time, my point still is valid. That he was not
Why wasn't he
or
made
he was not
the EMT change in 2009?
Yes, so I have to even verify the letter because this letter has been challenged on several instances.
But if you make the comments that why wasn't he made a chairman of the EMT in 2009, for me, it suggests logically that you believe that he was made chairman in 2010 Your only issue is why not?
I'm only making that statement based on what you have read because I don't have the benefit of hindsight to verify that particular letter.
Okay.
Moro.
Okay, that's fine.
Moro, you see,
Hamza.
Briefly.
Yes, so that we can move on.
That has always been the problem with the New Patriotic Party.
Yes.
Their unwillingness to listen to wise counsel. I listened to the tangential attempts by my brother to force the NDC into the equation. Look, undoubtedly the NDC has a founder and is recognized in our constitution. But you know, as a matter of fact, that even the founder did not always have his way as far as our internal practices were concerned. It is because of the level of leadership that he provided that made people politically independent to be able to exercise their views on internal happenings of the National Democratic Congress. We do not have any issue with that. Yes, President Rawlings, may his soul rest in peace, said all kinds of things in his disagreement against the National Democratic Congress and its leadership at the time. But we all know that we have been able to effectively regroup in the midst of all that, and we have won power. That is what a political party that listens to the people, that's what they do. They regroup, make amends, and win power. And thankfully, through his leadership, he unconsciously and consciously trained so many people to manifest leadership abilities. And the likes of John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, undoubtedly were part of those that were groomed by the National Democratic Congress. So we are proud of that legacy. And then, yes, we are happy that we as a political party have a founder. What I am simply telling you is free counsel, free consultancy to you as a political party. That, my brother, where you have gotten to, you are faced with a leader who lacks leadership qualities. Irrespective of the issues I may have about Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I know that Nana Addo was a strong leader. I cannot deny that, despite the excesses of his leadership. But I'm telling you that when it comes to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, he does not have it. He does not have it, and he doesn't provide that leadership.
But this is the same. You are the same people who criticized Nana Akufo-Addo
for
being a weak leader. I don't know what that position is.
No, we never said. We said that he was an autocratic leader.
Autocratic leader.
We never said he was a weak leader.
But it depends on who you're talking
about. So, but you see, that is the point I'm making.
Okay.
I'm telling you that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia does not have what it takes to lead the party. And I have made references to my brothers around him. Not because I don't think that they are doing well in their own respective endeavors. But in politics, perception matters a lot. You can imagine, if I happen to be the most important pillar around President John Dramani Mahama in opposition, Moro, when there are senior players, big players, who are major stakeholders of the National Democratic Congress. So you people must take this wise counsel and work with it for the benefit of our democracy. I could have decided to allow this matter to go, but I am somebody who is committed to the principles of our constitution, and I believe in the power of democracy and the competent opposition party to keep this government in check when it comes to delivering the mandate that we've been given by the good people of this country. So, my brother, it's not out of malice. It is sincere suggestion to you to appreciate that, look, there's a shortfall. And unfortunately, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia cannot be the one in his current state to complement your efforts as a political party. That is, even some of you, if some of you are willing to give him the opportunity to lead. So I do not intend it as malice. But you see, he spoke about His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. I think that the jury is out there. People know when it comes to democracy. Democracy is not about taking decisions alone. It is about listening to people. So if you sit in this chair and reference a page in President Mahama's book, My First Coup d'etat, where he makes the point that he always believes in taking decisions together with other people, and you tag that as a weakness. It's a manifestation of the kind of leadership you guys provided the good people of this country under Nana Addo, and why you emboldened Nana Addo to embark on that autocratic journey that eventually led to your humiliating defeat in the last election. Because democracy is about building consensus. So if you have a leader saying that he believes in that, that leader should be hailed. Today, it is that consensus building President Mahama championed in opposition that repositions the National Democratic Congress and granted us this victory. It is that consensus building that President Mahama led as opposition leader that ensured, Moro, that today we are holding people to account.
Okay.
As far as their roles in government is concerned, was concerned. Then you see, another important thing about consultation is that it gives you an opportunity for you to present policies that are nationalistic in character and endearing to the good people of the country. You lacked that. So we would not apologize for it. We would take pride in the fact that we have a leader who understood and still understand the essence of consultation. And Aruna, it is not a minus. The NPP must take a cue from it. I can understand your situation now because you've had a situation, you have had a system where you were led by a man who was not willing to listen to you for 16 good years. So I'm sure you have become used to that and you are thinking that it must be a one-man show. But for us in the National Democratic Congress, it's consultative. For us in our constitution, democracy is about consulting one another. But even in doing so, you must provide leadership. And the NPP must begin to listen.
Okay.
And what we have demonstrated today on this table is subtle communication to your party supporters out there.
Okay.
That indeed there's the need for them to wipe the slate clean when it comes to the National Executive Committee positions. Because you have failed them as national executives. They entrusted their mandate in you. They wanted you to win them power. You have not been able to deliver that.
Okay.
So you must be making amends, my brother. You must be making changes. It is in your own interest to make those changes.
Okay.
If indeed you want to remain relevant in our body politics.
Moro, on that note, he's
Still
calling for changes. I don't know whether he has reflected over the period when the NDC lost power in 2016.
Okay.
I will not fault him. I don't know whether you've had very close relationship with Inus Afuseni before.
I worked closely with him.
Very closely with him. At the time, you were very close with Inus Afuseni, where you were not the most important person in Tamale Central. So you should not align such conversation around when people are around a certain person. They are the most important persons around them.
Optics matters.
Yes, no, but I'm just citing. You were not. People didn't even know. You get the point. You had played your politics in a manner that people would not pinpoint to what.
Because I was behind the scenes.
Yes, you were behind the scenes and you were with him, and you were not the most important person.
Yes.
And that is why Alolo and Co. They are behind the scenes.
No, they are not.
Did you see them champion certain causes?
They are not.
Yes. Again, he's talking about. He's talking about.
My brother Dennis.
He's talking about. He's talking about. Dennis has been a political person on himself. He has been a DCE for Akropong. He later became an appointee of Akufo-Addo's government for the local government sector. Okay. So he's not.
But the names I have mentioned are all appointed. We're all appointees.
He's talking about wiping. If he had reflected over what he has said, I think that he wouldn't have made that statement. When you lost elections in 2016, you didn't go and wipe your executives. The current national chairman was the general secretary at that time. I cannot recount the other executives who were part of them, but he rose to become the national chairman and win power for the NDC with the highest margin that we have witnessed. The 2016 was the highest margin that we have witnessed in elections. Okay. The NDC never disowned their leadership.
All right.
And when we talk about leadership, I don't say if you are consulting people, it is out of place for leadership.
Okay.
But the point I cleared to make is that the man himself agrees that he cannot take a decision on his own.
Okay.
And taking a decision and leading is part of leadership.
All right.
And he himself have agreed on a book that is published in his name that he cannot take a decision. It is not wrong for him to consult because you need people to win. But in terms of leadership, you lack it. Bagbin had said, the current speaker, has said that Mahama's government was an animal farm administration and that he lacked leadership. Does it mean that John Mahama, per what he said, lacked leadership? You can always make your conversation and when you do it, it doesn't mean that it's sacrosanct. But I can tell you that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is a leader on his own. And I believe that he has the qualities to be a leader.
Well, so I guess that we'd have to draw the curtain on this. But let me just say that we have had some inputs from Neelanthi van der Poel. Now, we all know Neelanthi van der Poel's relationship with the former president. May he so rest in peace. I'm talking about Professor John Evans Atta Mills. We know that he's been his director of operations for a very long time. Even when the president won elections, he worked closely with him as a staffer and again continued as director of operations. So he sent us a message in relation to the conversation we're having, because you wanted to know, for instance, why John Mahama was not made the EMT chair in 2009. So he sent a response to that. You know.
Yeah, I would have done the research on it as I sit here, but I decided to overlook it.
That's fine. So he says,
several conversations.
So he says, "Good morning, Moro. Please respectfully ask that MPP guy if he was in Ghana when JM was vice president. I was a presidential staffer under President Mills. Vice President Mahama was head of the economic management team. He should stop spewing his ignorance." And he continues to say, "The president initially decided to head it himself because he had done that even during the transition. Don't forget that he was a tax lawyer and had a fair idea of the difficulties we had inherited from the MPP. You'd also recall that he took quite a long time to fully construct the government. He decided to have an informal team with people like Ismail Yamsing, Kadman, and that's Dr. Kadman Mills, and others in the earlier months before settling down with the team under the vice president." And so that's Neelanthi van der Poel's explanation as to why he wasn't made an EMT chair from the get-go from 2009.
Who was not made. So he agrees with me that John Mahama was not made from the get-go.
Right. Yes, it wasn't.
And it was not economic management team. It was a different name.
It wasn't an EMT.
Yes, it wasn't an EMT from the beginning.
Just a second. Let me read this. Let me read this briefly. And then Elvis Ifri Ankra has also sent a message. Now he says that, what is the gentleman talking about? Singing and dancing, it comes with, you know, a number of question marks. Has he forgotten the awkward and embarrassing offbeat dancing skills he was exhibiting during the last campaign? And he wants Annie to get some of those videos and play it for our viewers to see. Always, this wasn't actually meant to be our main conversation for the day. It was just by the by, but we would see if we would do that. So these are the two, states, how do you call it, messages that have come in relation to the conversation we're having.
The issue had to do with His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama being head of the economic management team.
Yeah.
It has been proven that my brother lied on this table. And indeed, President John Mills had confidence in President John Dramani Mahama.
He said he doesn't believe the authenticity of the letter.
Please, can I lie?
Okay, let him finish. I'll come in because I decided to sweep it on the carpet. I'm coming back.
He's not in doubt. He's not in doubt. Secondly, is it just about being head of the economic management team today? On this table, he has agreed that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia indeed led and headed the economic management team of the Nana Addo-led administration. What is the record of that management? Were they not running away from that same record policies that he presided over as chairman of the EMT during the campaign? What has been the result of that leadership Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia provided this country as far as the economic front is concerned? Are you talking about the unacceptable debt margins of over 721 billion that was left? Are you talking about his decision to preside over the domestic debt exchange program that has impoverished so many Ghanaians and led to the death of so many of our compatriots? Is that what you are talking about? Is that what you are proud about? Are you talking about the introduction of e-levy, emissions levy, COVID levy, and the likes? Is that what you are proud of? Come on. So when I talk about the lack of leadership abilities of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it's grounded in facts. It's not just conjecture, because the record is still fresh on our minds. So when it comes to even the economic front, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia represents the face of economic failure. And when it comes to the political front, he's a constant reminder of how one is not qualified to be a leader. And you are talking about political leadership qualities of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Look at his political trajectory. He's been at the center since the 90s, even before Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia decided to resign from Bank of Ghana to join politics. You cannot compare the two of them. It's like comparing apples and oranges. And for those of us in the National Democratic Congress, President John Dramani Mahama represents an important bridge of the past and modern day Ghana, and for that matter, National Democratic Congress politics. That is why his role is important to us. Because he was not only a minister or deputy minister under the SWAL administration, under President John Rawlings, he also featured prominently right after. So he is that bridge, he constitutes that bridge when it comes to our political history of this country.
Okay.
So you cannot compare the two of them, Moro.
All right.
It is important for you to appreciate that.
We're not going to spend
why
will you compare the two of them when you go to
you are dealing with an
his contribution to the northern part of Ghana and the contribution of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is unmatched.
Okay.
And Moro, you've gone back.
Debate. Let him.
I don't fear debate. I don't fear debate.
Instead of going back to
for me, that is my field.
I've gone back to what?
Yes, you went back to talk about the economic man.
Yes.
I am telling you that it did not start with the economic management team.
Right.
And the person you read who Mahama Ayaraga was the first.
Yes, he was the information minister.
Yes.
In fact, he was the spokesperson.
Yes, he was the
spokesperson under President.
Yeah, he was the first. Yes.
Yes.
And when the letter he signed,
yes,
it was Economic Advisory Council. He was not part of it. Dr.
In 2009.
Kabin Nankani.
In 2009.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But we've established that he wasn't.
I've also established that he was not.
Yes.
And Dr. Kobin Nankani was the chairman of the committee.
Of that advisory committee.
Of that advisory committee.
Yes. But when it was made,
and he was the vice president.
Okay.
Right? His role did not change.
I can provide you the context.
My brother, please. I like debate. So if you like,
we can call
a debate. We can get all these things. We can organize a debate at police park in Tamale.
No problem.
People will listen to us. I've never run away from debate.
So yes, I've
stated that point.
It's fine.
And those sending in the text message should have made those references to that.
It's fine. So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. I'm here with Haruna Mohammed, who is a Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, and also Hamza Suini is a lawyer and also a member of the NDC's communications team. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Where to get Polytank?
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
No, I want left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Who knows? I beg, na here. Me pe Polytank at all. And you think I'm in your bed to be able to buy you. Oh, food to be a. Enjoy your crowd.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emuha.
Like that, they took my eyes. Came to me and go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. Polytank, you get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
I'm a branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Cratchit, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Missy Yamfan come and me buru.
Mami do buru. Ni atele be ko. Bra, mumi Yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho. Dr. Ban o ya de. Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma, sasabro slow Dr. Ban o ye.
So ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh no mpemu ni mdi ono na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra eni Kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire.
Yes, you're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. We're having a very interesting conversation about some directives that have been given by the NPP in terms of the upcoming internal elections. And that has degenerated into all kinds of conversations. But you can always trust us here on Good Morning Ghana to look at all the important angles to a particular issue. Now, Makoto Boafu from the USA has sent me a message. It says, Hello, my brother. What's the MPP man saying? That JDM was what? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was the chair of the EMT during the Atamils government. The above redacted letter proves it. Now, I read it, Mark, and he's first of all challenging the authenticity of that letter, and secondly, he says he doesn't take away the fact that he wasn't the chair of the Economic Advisory Team from that in 2009. So that has been his argument all along. And then this one, Kojo Chum Wafu sends a message, and he says, "Good day, Mr. Moro. Kindly ask Haruna Mohammed to stop clowning. You talk about President Mahama lacking leadership. How do you describe a man who disavows the very government of which he was the number 2 man, who introduced the lexicon aplanque into a political speak? Bamia told us for 8 years he sat askance for Ken Oforiatta to run the economy of this country into the ground. Haruna, if this is your idea of leadership, sheep won't need a shepherd on their way to the abattoir." Hey, Kojo. Anyway, Sebastian Syme.
Tell him to come back on the show because
I'm sure that if I told him that you want to be here next week Tuesday, he'll be here.
Oh, okay.
He likes your matter. He likes your matter. Sebastian Syme has also, he says he's your very good friend. Sebastian Syme, he used to be with the Daily Graphic.
Oh, okay.
Sebastian.
For the media fraternity. I've been a very
good friend of them. Yeah.
Communications
He says a big hello to you, and that you're doing well. Now, Mansa Musa from the UK says that, Mora, I thought we are supposed to believe that the less ministries and the ministers, the better. So why is the MPP rep talking as though it is bad for the president to run the country with 56 ministers instead of 60? That is not what his point is. His theory, why we don't have 60 ministers and we have 56, is because he said the president has been indecisive. That has been his argument. Okay, it has nothing to do with whether the president's done well or not with 56, but that's not the argument. He says, I don't get it. The man is talking incoherently. He's been ambiguous. He should stop the obfuscation. Thanks and good morning from Mansa Musa, who sends us this message. There's quite a number of other messages, but you see, when you attack people personally, I won't read your message. So please attack the issues and not the person or the personality. So, Haruna.
Yes, please.
You were very, very busy yesterday at the old Parliament House. Yourself and I believe Habib Tijani, with the minority, Habib Idrisu, yes, the minority chief whip. And then the MP for Wale Naledogo Wale, what's the name? Something Mumuni Mohammed Nuruddin. And then the MP for Anyatu. What were you guys doing there?
Moro, yesterday I was called by the leadership of Parliament.
Yes.
To come and accompany them.
Okay.
On a decision that has been made by the minority caucus in Parliament. Before that decision, the minority had done a press conference that was spearheaded by Dr. Tia Kabiru on a matter that was very topical at that particular moment. Again, we as a political party also did a press conference that was headed by the national...
Sorry, it's Anyasoto. I slipped. Sorry
yes,
about that.
yes.
Sorry, Anyasoto.
So,
yes, please go ahead.
Headed by the national organizer for the New Patriotic Party, lawyer Henry Nana Boachi, where we made several statements and made some prepositions calling on the NDC as a party and also calling on the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Again, yesterday, one of the members of Parliament petitioned from the minority caucus to Shiraj, and I accompanied them as National Party executives on behalf of the General Secretary, who is out of town on official duties. The National Third Vice Chairman was also part of the delegation. So he petitioned Shiraj, he petitioned the Special Prosecutor and the CID on the matter and conduct of our very good friend and brother, Mr. Sami Jemfi, on the public display of foreign currency that we are currently holding on and thinking around it, whether we need to encourage our society to involve in that particular activity. So we heard that His Excellency, the President or the Presidency, had cleared him because he had apologized for the act. And upon reading the petition, the petitioner is concerned on several other matters that they should look out for. And the intent and purpose of the petitioner is to get an official clearance that is binding on the statutes of law, so that tomorrow, when a public officer decides to engage himself in such a manner, all of us will be very clear in our mind that it is on the standard of what? The law, and not on the standard of morality. So the question is the source of the foreign currency that was distributed, that the petitioner is seeking to understand, so that when investigation unravels that, everybody will get to understand and get to know and situate this in a proper place. And then the petitioner also wants to know whether the said currency form part of the public or institutional funds entrusted to Mr. Sammy Gyamfi, and also a potential conflict of interest and abuse of office, all combined, two in one in that particular instance. The petitioner is also asking whether there is a violation of the Code of Conduct for the Public Officers recently launched by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, and whether there is breaches of the Foreign Exchange Act and the Currency Act, and whether there is potential tax evasion by recipients in terms of the gift tax. So these were the areas that the petitioner has petitioned these particular three bodies for them to look at the matter, conduct their investigations, and let the general public know, so that if he is being cleared by these institutions, our very good brother, very young as he is, will remain standing, and all of us as public officers out there will take a cue from this particular standard. So that was the reason why we joined, and we went through with them. And before then, you know, we had also done a press conference on that, and we also raised the issues and questioning some of these particular standards in terms of the law, where we also look at the Foreign Exchange Act and also the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So these were the areas and the reason of which yesterday I was very busy, and I respond officially to your question on this particular platform on why I was busy.
Yeah, Hamza.
Well, I think that in principle, as a political party and as a government, we are not against anybody or group interested in expanding the frontiers of accountability. Because these are the twin principles that we survive on: probity and accountability. So we will not go after anybody committed to these fundamental principles and trying, using the laws of our country, to expand those frontiers. But I am shocked at the level of insincerity being demonstrated by the New Patriotic Party.
Why?
You see, when you want to expand the frontiers of accountability, you must be seen to be nationalistic in character, especially if you are a nationalistic political party. In this country, we are still grappling with the issue of, is it Buahini?
Edu Buahini, yes, Kwabena Edu Buahini.
The NPP has been dead silent on that issue. Today, we are still dealing with the matters of SkyTrain. On the contrary, they rather decided to take the government to the cleaners for attempting to expand the frontiers of accountability. You see, I commended them. No matter how discomforting that may sound, that is what governance should be about. So in the same vein, when people are being sought after, largely because of the level of corrupt allegations that seem to characterize their personalities, I would want to see the NPP supporting this government in this regard. And I can assure you, my brother, I also have a petition to file.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Against who?
I will let you in.
Oh, but drop
Don't
it here.
rush. No,
Good
wait.
morning, Ghana. We drop filler here. We break the news here.
And you see, when we campaigned and promised that we're going to ensure accountability, many of us know that to help the president succeed, there's the need for us to also go out of our way to activate our institutional systems to ensure that the effort of the president is complemented.
Okay.
In this same country, under their leadership. Remember, under was in Mbafo Boni and Co. They went to jail for 3 million Ghana cedis. Some equipment from national security or stuff like that. The SkyTrain is about $2 million.
Yes.
There's a former CEO who presided over a $25 million contract in the name of purchasing an IT, system for his organization. And do you know the directors of that company?
Tell me.
His sister, the brother-in-law, and his wife. Yes, are the directors of that company. $25 million contract. So I also have a petition to file because I got the information within the week from Public Procurement Authority, my source there. And I'm still dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So we'll see where this game will go. But when it comes to the issue of the petition filed against Sammy Gyamfi, Moro, I can assure you that Sammy Gyamfi is not perturbed. If he was minded, they could have written to him. I'm sure that he would have provided them elaborate responses to the questions that they have. Because we all know that no law has been broken. And you see, I listened to my brother, Dr. Kabiru, when he was presenting their side, their statement to the media. I was like, what the heck is happening in this country? That's all maybe because he's not a lawyer. There's no single provision of the Foreign Exchange Act that has been breached. No single provision. And it reminded me of a fundamental case for contract, any first-year student of contract knows, Fisher and Bell, where in the United Kingdom it was illegal for you to display on sale a jackknife, for you to sell a jackknife. And the shop decided to put it and displayed it. And the owner of the shop was taken to court for breaching the law because he had put for sale that particular jackknife in contravention of that particular law. And the court came to one interesting conclusion. That display was not an offer to sale. It was an invitation to trade. So you, the person who picks the knife and asks how much, is now actually the one and wanted to buy, you are the one placing the offer. So the gentleman walked free. And if you don't take your time...
As for law, oh God.
My brother, if you don't understand these basic principles, and you are reading the Foreign Exchange Act, you are likely to come to the problematic conclusion they came to. So we are interested. But I can understand the fixation.
But you're already suggesting that this is an exercise in futility.
Absolutely. Moro, it is. And I can understand the fixation. I can understand the fixation on Sammy Gyamfi. Because whichever way you look at it, the NPP's number one problem from 2017 has always been the venerable Sammy Gyamfi. He knows that. He's a thorn in their flesh, even up to date. So they are looking for ways to make it impossible for him to continue to do what he's doing. Our doors are open. And like His Excellency President Mahama has indicated, the gentleman has been reprimanded and he's been asked to go and concentrate on his job. And I can assure you that the Sammy Gyamfi I know is actually concentrating on his job as we speak. But I will not be rest assured. As for the petitions, they will fly. many petitions would be activated by next week. And we shall see those who will be left standing in the interest of accountability. So it's within your democratic right to file those petitions. But the average Ghanaian knows that it is not driven by sincere attempt. It is largely driven by your desire to seek your pound of flesh from Sammy Gyamfi. And no matter what you do, the gentleman will continue to stand tall. The responsible thing for you to do as a political party is to begin to look for ways to empower people to be that competent enough to mitigate the likes of Sammy Gyamfi in the National Democratic Congress. Not to go on this needless tangent you are going.
Okay.
But we are ready. He will
right.
open himself up.
All right.
And mind you, I am surprised that I did not read a petition in the media about you. Filing petition against Cecilia Dapa. Why did you not file a petition against him in the interest of accountability? Suddenly, you have worn the garment of accountability. That level of hypocrisy must be discouraged in this country.
Okay. Let's.
He just asked. He asked me. You asked me to give the preliminaries and the background. Why I
so you gave.
So he has entered into the matter. I don't want to be.
I thought
the lawyer say. What do you say? I don't want to be judicial, right?
Yes, but I thought you would wait for the police and charge to finish.
No, I am not. I'm not going to pronounce any guilt on this because that's why I said possible breaches, and I've mentioned the appropriate angles on which the petitioner is seeking
you are allowed to move to a different topic?
Yeah, but you see, he's mentioning about the case of Eduboy.
Yes.
He's mentioning about the case of the Sky Train. And he wants us to come out and make statements on that. He's a lawyer. I am not a lawyer.
Yeah.
A matter that is before a competent court of jurisdiction. You want us to come out and make what? I know you should have been encouraging us as a political party to learn to live with the tenets of democracy and the rule of law. That we should not be making statements on matters that are before the court. And I know that this petition is before Siraj. And we know the statute of Siraj in our jurisprudence. And I will refuse to make judgment on this particular matters that has been raised. Okay. But I know that Ghanaians need to see a clear roadmap. And to hear him say that because he has apologized and he has been reprimanded, he has been asked to go and not repeat same.
Okay.
One, if you are reprimanded on a matter, it means that there is something wrong.
Definitely.
If you are apologizing, it means you feel it is not incongruent with the mindset and morality of the people. If there is a call to advise, it means that there is also something wrong.
Okay.
So it is that wrong that we as young people as we are, this man should not just be cleared because he has apologized. Is apology the standard in this government? Is apology super over the code of conduct? Because we have pointed to several sections of the code of conduct. Section 1.2 and section 1.3. And specific headlines on those particular aspects, which borders on trust. I have said it. When you throw a child up, and the child smiles, laughs, and the child is coming down, and you hold the child, it's because of the trust the child has for you. If the child doesn't trust you, the child will cry. So trust is very key. You should be able to win the trust of the public and confidence. And His Excellency the President did not mince words in those areas that I have pointed in 1.2 and 1.3. Again, in page 9 of the President's assent, he agreed to the fact that he's going to ensure that persons within his government lives within the limit of the code of conduct. So let's wait. Investigations were not conducted in the case of the President's communication. It was an invitation for advice because of the apology. Now we have triggered some investigative body.
Okay.
not to destroy Sammy Gyamfi, to clear him appropriately.
Okay.
So that tomorrow nobody can take him on. He should be cleared appropriately.
Okay.
Or he should be reprimanded appropriately by the law. Okay. So these are the cases. So it's not any attack on Sammy Gyamfi. We are living in a democracy. We should be living and seeking to strengthen the democratic credentials.
Okay.
And make sure that the rule of law works. And that is why we are doing so. Okay. When it comes to accountability, the MPP doesn't fear if you want to put a petition or to call for accountability of any public officer. That is why the law courts are there. You can do so. And accountability is a standard for every political party.
Okay.
You can go for any accountability issues that we have.
Let's try and wrap up on this.
Briefly. First of all, Haruna, it is not accurate that when there is a matter before the law courts, you are precluded from running commentary on C. It's the content of the commentary that matters. So it's free education. Secondly, this kind of selective amnesia is condemnable. You did not know that the matter of Edu Buahin was in court when the likes of your minority leader were everywhere condemning the Attorney General for his actions. Was he not in court? You did not know that? So why were you speaking in condemnation of the steps being taken in government? Why didn't you go by that example you sought to create on this table as to why you decided not to comment? You commented against us, against the state. You took a position against the state. So sometimes it is important for us to privilege national interests beyond this petty partisanship. And those of us as leaders must manifest that not just in our actions, but even in our daily communications, especially when we are given these platforms. It is important because many people listen to us.
Absolutely.
Many people listen to us. So get that straight. Again, you have made references to the code of conduct. As part of the punitive measures outlined in the code of conduct is public apology. Moro isn't on there.
Absolutely, it's there. It's there.
And you see, you need to understand the context. Ordinarily, this Venerable Sammy Gyamfi has breached no law, not even the code of conduct. But the National Democratic Congress is a party that respects the sensibilities of the ordinary Ghanaian because we are birthed from the grassroots. That is our identity. And so the fact that he was filmed, remember, his private space, he walked into his car, he could have demanded that his bag be brought to him outside for him to give the money to the said lady. But he walked into his car, sat down in his private space with no idea that he was being recorded. Because you can see how the camera guy was moving around just to get a good capture of the moment. Sammy had no idea. That was his private space. So for us in the National Democratic Congress, for you to even be seen publicly like that, giving out money, is something we don't feel comfortable with about. And I'm sure that was the reason why he had to apologize. And that is the reason why His Excellency President Mahama decided to go with a public apology as enough sanction. It is not because he has breached any law. We are a sensitive political organization and we are a sensitive government, and we appreciate that even at the time that he was giving that money to the said lady, there would have been many Ghanaians out there seeking for such an opportunity and may not have got it. So you need to be very tactical in the way you even demonstrate your generosity.
Great.
That's
Moro,
what actually
I'm shocked.
But unlike that, you see, Moro, I'm surprised today the MPP wants to take the high moral ground. In less than 2-3 years in office, you deny him. What didn't he acquire? The legs of our brothers. In no time, you saw the court documents between him and his wife. Presidential spokesperson. You defended it. When they were accused, your deputy chiefs were accused of charging $100,000 Before any meeting with President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you defended it. Your anti-Galamsey task force chairman was caught red-handed on tape, receiving money at the presidency. Your leader then, and president of the Republic of the country, Ghana, cleared him. Your deputy finance minister was caught red-handed, receiving money and actually negotiating on behalf of your flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Did the MPP release any statements? Did they file any petitions? So this is your record. And so when it comes to issues of corruption, I'm surprised that you even have the temerity.
Okay.
To even begin to run commentary on saying,
it's okay.
No,
It's not. He has made some accusations.
Too short.
All the cases.
Because once you come in.
All the cases you have mentioned were cases that were investigated, not called to court.
And cleared.
Yes, they have been investigated. Why did you fear to investigate Sami? If you wanted to just clear him.
If you wanted to investigate him. Why do you think that the chief of staff summoned him?
Is the chief of staff is an investigative body?
My goodness.
The other cases you have mentioned, my brother, please just relax. Just be very comfortable.
So
that's all.
Because we have only 15 minutes, so I want us to move on and look at our next topic.
You see,
it's
the
important.
other persons you have mentioned, they were investigated and cleared.
All right.
Then His Excellency the President did not just ask that chief of staff talk to them and then clear them. No, they were investigated.
Okay.
So it is not true.
His own is not a crime.
Look,
all criminal elements.
Similar cases have been mentioned in your government against the Minister for Justice of taking money.
Okay.
You have not done any investigation. You've asked the gentleman to apologize. Is apology a standard in this government? It's an apology, the standard. You compare that and you are talking about morality, somebody who does investigation and somebody who accepts apology.
Okay.
That is not a standard.
All right, so
and you're talking about our minority leader talking. You have just talked about content. I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
He's a lawyer. You know the content he's chaining out with respect to that particular case. You know the content.
Okay,
I cannot put myself at where I am not. I'm not a lawyer. No, you are saying it, but he's making his commentary. No, this one.
Let's make progress. Let's make progress. I guess
question our morality. We are more having moral right grounds than you. Yes. You know.
Let's make progress.
This business. You see, this business. These Ghanaians must once again be reminded of the failures of the MPP.
Yes, let's make progress. Let's make progress.
I don't blame him.
Maybe because you see cameras on you, and you look at yourself, you remember.
Do you have?
You subjected this country in the last
Haruna?
I don't blame him.
Haruna Hamzat,
because he will not appreciate the days when Obed Asamoah could have money missing.
It's okay. Let's move on.
He would not understand.
Let's move on. Let's not litigate over this. But Haruna, do you run a foreign exchange account or a foreign currency account? Do you have some pounds or dollars?
It's my personal matter that I don't want to discuss.
You don't want to discuss, okay. You don't have any $1 some way?
Oh, for $1, you can have it.
These people are shady.
You can always have it. But anytime I am traveling,
they are not supposed to be.
Anytime I am traveling. Last year when I was in I usually use my Visa card.
Okay.
And you can check from my bankers.
Okay.
You can check from Absa Bank.
Right.
I usually use an Access Bank.
Okay.
I usually use my Visa card.
Okay.
When I went to Mecca, I never went there with dollars.
All right.
I went there with my Visa card.
And
I am asking you. You said when I have dollars. I said up $1.
Yes.
No, it's my personal decision to disclose.
Hamza, you have a foreign account?
Even in court.
You run a foreign currency account?
Of course.
Okay, that's fine. So let's watch this video quickly. Let's watch this video. Oh, okay. I'm told the video is not ready yet.
Of course. In the spirit of transparency
let me just
and honesty, I ran.
Okay.
Largely because my family is not here.
Yes.
So I have a foreign account.
For me, my family is in Ghana. I have 2 wives.
That's fine.
And they are all in Ghana. 2 wives?
Yes.
So congratulations. I envy you.
What's the congratulations
about?
I don't have
the boss here.
Okay. All right.
He's a man.
All right.
Back when we
So let's read this from the Bank of Ghana. There was a video I wanted us to play. Unfortunately, we are unable to play it because we have a bit of a challenge with the video. But it says Bank of Ghana notice of foreign exchange withdrawals, notice number BGGOV SEC 2025-14. And I'm sure Annie will put it up on your screen shortly. It says pursuant to Bank of Ghana's mandate under the foreign, yes, here we go. Under the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723, and associated notice, the Bank of Ghana wishes to inform the public as follows. That 1, over-the-counter, which is OTC, cash withdrawals in foreign currency from foreign exchange accounts and foreign currency accounts are allowed. For non-FEA and non-FCA account holders, forex purchases for travel outside Ghana are allowed, but capped at $10,000 US or its equivalent per person per trip. This must be supported by a valid passport, visa, and confirmed travel tickets as indicated in Bank of Ghana notice number BGGOV SEC 2014-09. Now, 3, checks and checkbooks may continue to be issued on FEA and then FCA. Now, that's foreign exchange accounts and foreign currency accounts. Now, the bank has not contemplated reviewing these existing measures. All banks and the public are advised to take note and comply accordingly. And it's signed by Sandra Thompson, who is the Secretary of the Central Bank, issued on the 15th of May 2025. Did you see the Honorable Isaac Adongo interview? And I don't know how you reacted to it, especially for those of you who are running your small foreign exchange account or foreign currency accounts. You know, were you worried? Were you? Did you? Yes. Let me not put brethren in trouble. So that they'll come and besiege you and say, we've heard that you have some fat money in your account, so give us some dollars. And then somebody will take a video and put it out there. You know, so I don't know how the two of you reacted to the Isaac Adongo statement. And he was very emphatic and he sounded very authoritative about it. You know, and I was wondering why, as a member of the Central Bank and as a chairman of the Finance Committee in Parliament, he would make such, you know, a definitive statement about what, in his view, was the policy statement going forward, which is that if you have your own funds or dollars or euros or pounds in your account, whether foreign exchange account or foreign currency account, you can't go and withdraw it, and that you'll be given in cedis. I don't know where Adongo got that information from. I mean, what was your reaction when you heard it too?
Well, when I heard him, I was asking myself several questions. Several questions were going through my mind.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, what was the rationale for this decision?
Okay.
But when he was saying it ahead of the next day's decision.
Right.
That in the next day, this will be communicated to the good people of Ghana who respect that particular decision.
Yeah.
So I was asking myself, why would I have a dollar account I go to, because I came and deposited $1 in the account, I have come to ask for $1 again.
It's your own money, and you
I
can't
cannot
get
be
it.
given the same dollar. I have to be given a foreign currency.
You have to be given
a
cedis,
local
sorry.
currency
Yeah.
in cedis. I was asking myself, I said, hey, this decision, let's wait and see what the release of the Bank of Ghana is going to look like.
Yeah.
More especially, he being the chairman of the Finance Committee in Parliament, a very important committee in the discharge of administrative duties for the legislature, and also in line with the executive decisions. So I was just asking myself and using the phrase, let's wait and see what exactly is going to be. So when the Bank of Ghana issued the statement and I got it, I had a shock. I said, so what could be the driving force for Honorable Adongo to have made that particular statement? Then I begin to ask myself, why the reasons why Adongo is not found very clearly in government, and what have you. His contribution, he has been very vocal, very vociferous, and doing a lot of things behind the scenes and even in the floor of Parliament to be able to support the NDC in opposition at that time. And sometimes when you are a leader, you have to be very careful with statements that you preempt, even if they are true. If you don't take time and you are swift, your credibility is going to be online. I believe that many people who have heard him and also reading this particular statement will begin to doubt anytime Honorable Adongo is making a statement or an emphatic statement on such a matter. And he's a senior brother that I will try as much as possible to also advise to be very careful and mindful of statements that he would make in the future relative to government decisions. That is why in many situations when I'm called to speak on party matters and matters that have not been issued under the hand of my boss as General Secretary or any other officer of the party who is cloned with the power to issue a statement, I am called to discuss. I always refrain myself from it because as I said now, I don't have a personal opinion. So I restrict myself into writing my own opinions even on my Facebook wall because my opinion would finally become a decision of the party or a position of the party. So as public officers, we need to be very careful. Speculation is very key in monetary management. And once he said that, I believe that many people might have gone to withdraw their dollars from their account, waiting or pending the decision that is going to be communicated to the general public. And I believe that such decisions can also affect the strength of our Ghanaian cedi because people will go and do otherwise because they think that this kind of speculation and authority that is going to come will also affect their spending power, and they may go and do that, which will also affect the running of the economy. And
let me just do this quickly before you come in. We have the next 5 minutes, which I'll give to you. Now, Miss Lydia Ayele Ahiavi, today you're celebrating your birthday and your interpros, Miss Lydia Ayele Ahiavi from Takoradi. Now, your daughter is wishing you a happy, happy birthday. She says, Mommy, may everything you touch be a blessing and continue to be our angel on earth. God bless you. Most especially, we pray for good health. We love you always and forever. Happy, happy birthday, my first love. Your daughter, Lady Julia. Lady Julia works here with the Ignite Media Group, and she's wishing her mother, Miss Lydia Ayele Ahiavi from Takoradi, a happy, happy, happy birthday. She says she loves you so very much. Yes, Hamza, please go ahead.
I think the most important thing is that the Bank of Ghana has responded timely to the interview that was granted by the Honorable Isaac Adongo. I've always argued that no one is perfect. And there's one proverb my dad used to throw around, that he who expects perfection under the sea, he who expects perfection should look for sugar under the sea. So probably that is one mishap on the part of the Honorable Isaac Adongo. I do not think that it was intended to have any consequences on government policy. Sorry, I'm having cold that I've been managing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It was not intended to have consequences on the government's policy, but unfortunately, the statement was made, and thankfully, the Bank of Ghana has responded timely. I think that we should leave it there and all take a cue from it. It does not mean that his credibility has been battered. Sometimes when you have the cameras before you, there are certain things that you would say, and after that, maybe you sit down, you are monitoring, but did I say this? It happens. My brother will agree with me. It happens. So I think that we should just let it slide. But there's one significant thing about this government, and I'm sure that is what informed the Bank of Ghana to even come out that timely. Even in the face of these gains, the government still remains moderate. Moral. We still remain moderate. Because we know that the mandate was not 125 days mandate. The responsibility is to manage the economy for 4 years. And for us, we have not lost sight of that. That is why you have not seen us organizing KK parties at the Ministry of Finance to celebrate the exchange rate appreciation in terms of the Ghanaian cedi. Like they did. You remember? Even for borrowing successfully, the likes of Kennedy Ken Oforiatta decided to organize a Kinki and Wachi party at the Ministry of Finance. But observe the conduct of our finance minister in particular. And the moderation of government spokespersons when it comes to these gains. Because we know that the tax ahead is cumbersome. And so we will not be distracted by positive steps we have taken so far. The most important thing is not just the step. It's about the results, how enduring, how sustaining it will be. And that is the focus of government. It is okay if Ghanaians are excited that the city is appreciating and our economic fundamentals are becoming stronger.
Okay.
Government, our objective is bigger than that.
Okay.
So that is the reason why you don't see us celebrating now.
Right.
Because we are focused on the bigger picture. Okay. And we will not behave like the New Patriotic Party by celebrating modest gains, when in actual sense, the actual responsibility faces us on daily basis. Okay. So that is a marked departure. And I hope and pray that the good people of this country will continue to support the government to resuscitate our economy.
Okay.
And ensure that we run a system that we all can be proud of.
Okay.
When we go to bed as a government, we still think about the huge sums of money that we are owing in the energy sector that was left by the last administration.
All right.
We are concerned about the state of Cocoa Board, the mess they created there, and we are worried about the rot at ECG, their handiwork. And so these are the things that occupies our thoughts as a government.
Masa, Ghana is making progress, and that's what the focus should be. This drama about Haruna and his people progress, and that's what the focus should be. This drama about Haruna and his people is a time waster. And Kojo Chumbafu is back. Yes. Please ask Haruna whether he remembers that Pius Hajide was investigated and cleared for the Australia visa scandal. Does he also remember that Hajide subsequently admitted whilst campaigning that he actually committed a crime for which he has been investigated and cleared? He wants to know. Hadi from Pig Farm says that, good morning, but the Haruna and his nagging People's Party, aka NPP, should let those with a clear conscience and a commitment to ethical conduct address the issue of Mr. Sami Jefi and all the elements within the party. No amount of hatred propaganda by Haruna and his nagging People's Party will bring Sami Jefi down. And finally, I just need 2 seconds to do this. Seth Iya says that ask Haruna to be specific with the provisions of the code that Sami has broken. Also, every law quoted by the MP to support their beef with him doesn't apply. It's much ado about nothing. All right, we were trying to play you back the interview that Isaac Adongo had with with Evans, but unfortunately our time is up.
He spoke about more.
So Haruna,
a big government that spends 326
Haruna
million.
Mohammed
and a small government,
Deputy General Secretary of the.
Father, this evening I bring the city in front of you. How many heads do we have on the dollar? Only one.